You know, if you lose a trade in space, it doesn't count because nobody can hear your screams.
Good thing I don't lose.
Frank. We're not lost, are we?
According to the spinning thing in front of me, I have no idea. I really don't understand why we're looking for this planet.
Frank, it's because someone told us that there's this planet out there where traders can get funded up to $200,000 in simulated trading accounts. And if you pass, you get the chance to get all your money back. It's really kind of a trader's paradise.
Traders have been searching the stars for a place like this, and it's just too good to be true.
Frank, you just gotta believe. Once you get there, they'll give you 15% off any examination with promo code A1Trading15.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
All right, Frank, take us out of hyperspace.
Coming out of hyperspace. Now, that's FX2.
That's it. That's FX2. The legends are true. It is as good as they say.
Wow, this is incredible. There's a big giant sign that's got a promo code at the front that says A1 Trading 15 for 15% off.
We finally made it to FX2. Get your discounted access to their trading accounts right now. Link and promo code down below in the description and in the chat right now.
Can you repeat all of that once again?
No.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to what is set to be a huge stream this week. We've got 130 people. We just went live. So it's going to be a fun stream today. Just saying, everybody who is with me here as we kick off, I thank you for being with me. And I want to just preface this stream with kind of how important it is. Truly, whether you trade the dollar indices, the dollar index, if you trade gold, if you trade indices, whatever you trade today, this is very meaningful to you. And I want to invite you to kick back. We've got about an hour before Jerome Powell gets speaking, and the markets are set to move big time. So with that said, as we kick off the stream, if you guys could do me a quick favor and hit that thumbs up button on the stream, kick us off here. I am currently still in the S&P 500 trade. This is becoming a marathon trade for me because I've been in it for several days now. We are still just barely testing resistance, and I will cover, as we always do, these trades that I'm in, the things that I'm looking at. I'll give you guys the full rundown and what I'm also looking to potentially do today. So with that said, as we kick off the stream, like I said, if you would just hit that thumbs up button as we get started, and also in the chat, if you guys let me know what charts do you want me to look at here today. I know I'll start off the bat with where I usually do, the US dollar index, which, by the way, guys, is back. It came right back up into this zone that yesterday I thought would have a little bit more follow through. To be completely honest, you've got this price coming back, big breakout to the downside. And from a technical analysis standpoint, this was a very nice breakout, right? You had a decisive close underneath the structure lows here at 105.5, let's call it. We closed bearish, and now price is pulling back. And as I mentioned yesterday, there's not a lot of wiggle room, in my personal opinion, on this thing. This thing has to roll over, right? Now, I'm not saying it has to, as in like it's certainly going to. I'm saying if you're a bear on a technical analysis, if you're a technical trader, this needs to hold in order to confirm a bearish bias. And as we come into this hour, which is going to be crazy volatile potentially with Jerome Powell's speech, well, not his speech. He's got a conference that he's doing, press conference. But anytime the guy speaks, it causes the markets to really stir. We are looking for follow through from yesterday's price action. Not yesterday's, last week's price action. Today, we are looking for some follow through in that department. And how would we get it? Well, we would get it from Jerome Powell kind of following through with that kind of less hawkish tone that we got last week. So for me here, as we retest into this zone of resistance, I think there might actually be lots of trading setups as we speak. Now, you had kind of a rejection candle here, but the dollar's staying strong. So you guys are telling me in the chat what you'd like me to look at. We got NAS 100, GJ, XAU USD, USD JPY. We got some currency pairs. We got some gold. We got Euro CAD, gold, CAD Swiss, NAS 100, dollar yen, pound Swiss, AU. We got a lot of different charts to go through, guys. And as I mentioned, if you would just do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. We'll dive through as many as I possibly can. And we might have Frank or we might have somebody join me to help me go through some charts in a bit. So with that said, the dollar index is where I like to start. My bias here today is bearish. We've broken out of this consolidation, but I'm not going to die on this sword, right? What I mean by that is that we're holding resistance so far, but it needs to prove itself. The dollar index needs to roll over for me to stay bearish, because if it starts breaking up into this area, guys, I need to cancel my ideas. Now, I don't actually have any trades open, so I might be very much ready to take some trades here as we speak. In terms of institutional money, I'm going to find myself a little bit more hesitant on dollar pairs purely because look at this. Institutional money is still very long USD. You know, when we look at hedge funds, when we look at banks, they're still long dollar, but they're also long gold. And so I am going to revisit this idea yesterday where I discussed potentially buying gold. Because think about it, guys. Let's be clear here. If I'm bearish USD, by proxy, when we're looking at XAU USD, right? Gold versus the dollar, if I'm kind of bearish dollar, that would entail potentially getting long gold. So I need to look at the price action today. Yesterday, I did not find a trade, and I'm glad that I didn't, because had I entered in yesterday, it would have just been a nothing but sideways move for me. And I'm still not fully in love with this setup. I mean, you do kind of have some support here, but I'm very concerned with what Frank pointed out, which is him and I have been trading together for a number of years. And he pointed out, he came on right away and he said, you know, Nick, you got to be careful with this. There's a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. I want to ask you guys, blow up the chat really quick. Gold, are you guys bullish or bearish? Let's get a read the room effect here. What do you guys think? I want you guys to blow up the chat really quick and let me know. Do you think gold continues lower from here or higher from here? I will be completely transparent with this. I'm kind of neutral on this. As much as I do like the idea, I love the idea of being a gold bull right now for a number of fundamental reasons. The price actions got me sketched out, okay? Because for me, the price action here is a little wonky. We saw higher highs, higher lows, right? You saw that price action. It looked really good. And I even called for the idea that if we broke into 2000s, you would have seen me taking buys on my channel, but we didn't get that. I like momentum. And when I'm trading gold, I like momentum setups. I don't love the idea of just buying gold just because fundamentally I do like it bullish. I need the price action to give me something to work with. And I'm just not quite there. So this is a daily chart. You guys have given me, thank you for blowing up the comment section. We got people in the chat telling me bullish, bearish, got kind of a mix here. Bearish unless conflict escalates. Jamie, that's a fair point. Right. And Jamie is referring, of course, guys, to the Middle Eastern stuff. If there is an uproar or if there's some sort of escalation, which from a humanitarian standpoint, as I've said many times on my channel here, I hope that does not happen because war is really, really terrible and awful and sad. And you know, none of us want that to happen. If it does, however, the inevitable effects to the gold market would be a continued push higher. Guys, the dollar was really strong during this period. That's a weird thing to happen. To have a strengthening US dollar and a strengthening gold market doesn't usually happen like that. Usually a strong dollar weakens gold. But what we saw is a lot of fear in the markets and people went right into gold. There's still a little of that fear in there, I think. And so you need a dollar sell-off to really kind of reinvigorate the idea of gold longs. So I am admittedly, fundamentally, I like gold to the upside. I think the dollar is starting to peak. And if that's my bias, how do I trade that? Well, I look for price action to marry up nicely. So I'll tell you guys what I'm looking for. I'm okay if this thing rallies from here. I'm okay with missing the bottom because I'm not fully convinced this is a bottom. Yes, we're at a support level, but we've lost that momentum that was a lot more clean-cut price action. Okay, we entered into a range. We put out this kind of multiple top, this triple top. We've sold off, and we're sitting here now. What gives me some confidence is that let's take a look, guys. Institutional money The big boys and girls, they went long gold this past week. Now, how do I know that, Nick? How you don't know what to do. Actually, this is public information. We have the COT data and we've built this UI that allows us to look at it really easily. Okay. So gold, check this out. The gold week to week change in terms of institutional positioning, 1.66%. That's a bullish change. That's pretty significant. By the way, in the metals department, oh my gosh, platinum, 7%. Not a market we ever talk about and not something I even really trade. But the point is, metals had a little bit of a bid there. And I thought that was really interesting. So we had 1.66% here come into play. And that's massive. So 1.66 comes into play. And that shows us, okay, institutional money seems pretty bullish on gold. Okay. So when we look at that, we say, okay, well, price is not reflecting it just yet. I'd like to wait for like that breakout pattern to form, potentially to start getting long gold. Okay, that's my opinion. If I take a trade, guys, it's going to be bullish on gold, but I need to see that price action match up with where I'm at. Does that make sense? If that thesis makes sense, we're looking for potentially gold setups, and I'm bullish, but I've got to see price action give us that signal. If that makes sense to you, type yes in the chat. Let me know that was, I broke that down decently for you. In terms of trades that are on, still long S&P, guys. Still long, floating $10,145. No cap. I am logged into my Webull account. You guys know if I show you trades, they're not fake. No MetaTrader stuff, no false stuff, real trades only. And I am long the S&P 500. I've got 500 shares of the ETF SPY, which reflects the S&P 500. Now, if you're somebody who trades NASDAQ, if you're somebody who trades US 30, by proxy, these things all generally move together. So I am bullish indices and looking for a potential pop. Yesterday, James made a wonderful point. James is he's one of our producers here. James the Chandler, they put on these shows, they help bring on guests, all that wonderful stuff that you guys get here. James asked a wonderful question. He said, Nick, what about that fourth year of a presidential cycle? Does that have any impact? Massive impact. Historically speaking, the S&P 500 does well in this period of the year. And this has been my thesis. My real thesis on the S&P has been heavily related to seasonality. Here it is. Look at this. This is why data matters, guys. Everybody wants to look at technical charts, and I get it. Technical charts are wonderful, but they are not everything. This chart tells you some seriously cool stuff. Okay, look at what we've got here. This is the seasonality of the S&P 500. Now, if you trade NAS 100 or you trade gold or you trade US 30 or you trade euro dollar or you trade pound dollar, you can pull up this data for whatever you want in the Edgefinder. But I've got the S&P because that's, of course, what I'm trading right now. S&P 500, historically speaking, during the month of November is a bullish month. Now, that's the last 10 years on average. That tells you something right there. This part of the year is a bullish part of the year. Now, why does that matter to you and I? Well, if we know that that is historically likely to happen, and you've got a fourth year of a presidential cycle where the president is going to do, any president, doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, we don't get into that stuff, doesn't matter. Any person who was the president of the United States would want to window dress for their upcoming election. With that said, they do what they can to get that stock market looking good. Okay. So I've been on that trade. It's been one of my better calls this year, has been to be very much, I had some NASDAQ trades this year and the S&P 500 trade here is rocketing and we're still in this. So huge stuff. The S&P 500, what I'm looking for is a breakout. If we do break, I'll be looking at trail stops higher. And if we fall apart at these levels, I'll take profit. So I'm in a win-win scenario for the S&P right now. And this is a trade that I currently have going on. It's also been one that has been shared inside of our Discord community. So let me see what I can get there. Hold on one second. Where is my Discord? I got to find it. There it is. Okay. If you're not already in the Discord, let me just say this really quick. If you'd like to get access to these trade notifications, anytime we take trades, we do offer a signal service. You can see the trades that we're taking, why we're taking them, when we're taking them, and they come with full explanations and breakdowns. I shared this trade last week. I'm still in it and letting a winner just run and run and run. This one single trade has been a massive winner. Not all of them look like this, and I don't want to portray that that is how it is, but we catch some really good moves sometimes. And when they happen, for me, it's like catching these big runners is all that it counts. Like that's all that counts, is finding the big wins and letting those things become monster trades like this. I didn't risk $10,000 to get here, right? So on this trade, it's just been such a monster mover that we're able to get some wonderful risk to reward. If you'd like to get access to the Gold VIP membership, which gets you access to every trade that Frank and I take with full breakdowns, our stock trades, indices trades, forex trades, metals trades. We trade gold, we trade stocks, we trade everything. If you want to get those notifications sent to your phone, we send out many trades. We send out everything that we're doing on our own live personal capital. Rest assured, when you get a trade signal from me, it is not me telling you, hey, I'm on a demo account having fun, do whatever you want. No, these are my trades on my live personal hard-earned money. So I want to clarify that. We never show anything that's fake. We're not, we're out here showing the real deal stuff. So if you'd like to join us, it is currently 45% off. We're doing our Black Friday sale event right now. Click this link in the chat. Get in on the action. If you're serious and you want to be with serious traders, this is the spot to be. So come join us. With that said, I want to keep going. Take a look at some currency pairs for you guys. We had some people who are the currency traders. If you're a forex person in the audience, do me a quick if you're somebody who trades forex, blast the comment section, the chat section for me. Type the word forex. If you are, in fact, someone who is a forex trader, if you trade currencies, let's get some forex representation in the house. Let's take a look at some euro dollar breakout here, pulling back. If you're a euro bull, this has got to be an area of interest, right? If you're a euro bull, the idea here that we could potentially be pulling back into a level that was broken significantly. I think we made this point earlier this week. If you're a regular, then what's up? Thanks for being here. I know we got like almost 500 people in here watching the stream on both channels. So thank you very much for being here. The regulars know, if you're here every day, then you know that we talked about the euro very cautiously as we neared this area. Despite me being dollar bearish, I pointed out, you don't want to be dollar bearish after the big move. You want to be dollar bearish if you're going to be dollar bearish. If you're going to be dollar bullish, whatever you are, you don't want to chase the move, right? So people who were patient have been, at the very least, now this is not a guarantee that of course it's going to go up. We don't know that, but we can say you've been rewarded for your patience if you waited on the euro. Because if you bought up here, you're just sitting in drawdown. You might be holding a no stop loss trade, which is unfortunately what a lot of traders do. They YOLO into something. They're like, the euro's going to the moon. And when it doesn't, it's ugly, right? The gold membership is 45% off too, or is it just the Edgefinder? Everything, store-wide. It's our biggest discount of the year. We're doing a blowout sale. It is 45% off. It is actually our best prices of the year. Chandler, if you could drop that link just in case somebody missed it. We just had a spamming in the chat. So if anybody missed that link, here is the real deal. If you want to come join us, like I said, when you see the trading alerts that are going out from Frank and I, you can see I am logged into a live brokerage. We do not do the nonsense. We do not do fake stuff. No MetaTrader faking, no demo balling, real stuff only. If you're tired of the nonsense, join us. It is the place to be. And I say that confidently because most people who are out there offering that sort of service, they don't show you a live account. They don't show you the real deal. I'm putting my hard-earned money out here showing you guys that I'm not faking this stuff. I'm not out here doing nonsense. This is my real hard-earned money. And I think that should be of value to people to know, like, this is no cap, right? It's no nonsense, no BS. We're really doing it out here. And if you'd like to join us on that journey, then we'd love to have you. We're looking for serious traders. So please join us if you're interested in getting access to that trade alert service and joining the coaching webinars, so on and so forth. Okay, let's talk euro, okay? Euro and pound. Both of those I'd like to go over really quick. Someone in the audience asked, Nick, where are you at fundamentally? We got David. Thank you for the question. Where are you at fundamentally with the pound dollar? I'll get to that in just a second. The euro and the pound, though, going to be pretty consistently the same thing. Ivan said, did you see my Aussie yen trade? Got to check on that in just a second, Ivan. Euro dollar. Again, path of least resistance to me is up. The dollar broke out. It was a decisive breakout to the downside. We had cooling jobs numbers. Jerome Powell was less hawkish, which took away some of the edge for that dollar bullishness. And I think with this breakout, from a price action standpoint, the path of least resistance to me is to the upside. Okay, bullish from here, in my personal opinion. As always with this, I think the euro is likely to go higher. That's not a guarantee and it's not a certainty, and I'm wrong sometimes. So please, I'm not trying to tell you like, oh, I'm not trying to be a hype man where I tell you like, oh, this is going up, and I'm not that YouTuber, right? I am sharing my personal opinions here. When it comes to the euro though, let's take a look at what we've got going on. Big downward trend, breakout, right? Higher lows. This is an impressive move so far. Higher highs. And again, as we mentioned, you've been rewarded for your patience. If you chased, you have not been rewarded. If you chased the buy setups here, then it's been painful. If you've, however, been patient, perhaps there's a risk to reward here that looks favorable. So where are we at with this? Well, you could kind of widen your stop here and say, looking for that continuation move. We should anticipate, not guarantee, but I think, like I said, if my idea here is correct, we should anticipate to see the euro make a new high. That's also reflected, by the way, this is moving in tandem with my S&P 500 trade roughly. These two things are going to kind of move in sync right now if that dollar story continues to play out weaker than what many of the dollar bulls were thinking, okay? So we could anticipate potentially a higher push on the euro. Fundamentally, where am I at? Well, it's all about the dollar for me. The euro has seen some slowdown, yes. The euro has been depressed from that, right? People have just, the popular trade for a long time has been short the euro, buy the dollar. And I've been in that camp for quite some time. During this period of time, I've been just exclusively bearish euro dollar, right? I've been a dollar bull for a while. So I'm trying something. It's, you know how like when you whip out your change of clothes for the new season, right? Like we're going into where I'm at, it's getting cold. I'm starting to get out my heavier coats, starting to get out my warmer clothes. It's like putting on different clothes when you switch biases, but I've been dollar bullish for months. So it's a new fit, new shoes, new pair of shoes right now. So what I'm looking at with the euros, like I said, path of least resistance, in my opinion, is to the upside. We'll continue to monitor that one. Pound USD, same story. You've got this pullback here, though. I don't love the price action. What's kind of concerning here is like, look at this huge pop. Now pulling back. If you start seeing, some strength come back into this, I think it's a little bit better. But really, of the two, the price action on the euro is night and day, a lot stronger in my personal opinion. And I think the path of least resistance here, as I mentioned, is to the upside. Now, if you're shorter term, maybe you tighten up your stop, however you like to, whatever time frame you trade, et cetera. You might have a different opinion on that. But in my opinion, as kind of a swing trader, I'm comfortable with that sort of like deeper, 50 pip. What is that? No, I'm sorry, a 65 pip stop loss, something of that nature. So we'll see if that's correct. So I do like it. I'm not taking the trade. You might ask, Nick, why aren't you taking a trade? It's not quite on my watch list. Okay. This watch list is generated for me every day by the Edgefinder. If you're not an Edgefinder user, I've got some exciting news for you. We are, like I mentioned earlier, we're doing our 45% off sale. It is our biggest discount of the entire year. We are doing a store-wide super sale. If you'd like access to the trade alerts that I mentioned earlier, or the Edgefinder, if you're a regular viewer, message us right here, right now. We got that link for you in the chat. It will get you access to our super discounted prices that we're doing right now. And this is the last chance of the year to get access to our stuff for the best price before we potentially make prices go up next year. So do not hesitate. If you've been thinking about it, take a look. Let's take a look at USD CAD. While we're talking here, USD CAD creeping back up into that bullish camp. Don't love the price action. I had a long trade over here that worked really well, but I'm really glad that I got out of it because dollar CAD fell apart. And I'm just not liking the price action just here. There's just not like a clear, obvious trend. Sure, you have this kind of recent bullish price action, but I'd like to see structure in the market. So dollar CAD bullish, but not quite ready for me. NAS 100 bullish. Let's take a look at NAS 100. I saw some people saying that they think NAS 100 is overbought in the chat here today. So let me just be clear about the indices. I've made a whole fundamental point about the indices, but what I got to say about the NASDAQ is be very careful thinking it's overbought. It is probably one of the most bewildering things when you think the NAS 100 is overbought and you look at historically what happens when people think it's overbought. It's a signal to be more bullish. As crazy as that may sound, usually when everybody thinks, whoa, this NASDAQ is overbought, it just rockets higher. Okay. It's a wonderful thing as an index trader for me. I trade indices almost exclusively on the long side. I don't like to short indices because they're companies that have value and they have growth potential over time. I generally am more bullish on indices. That's no secret. I've talked about that for the long term. And you know, when I show you guys my trade, that SPY trade, the S&P 500 that I'm in, I am bullish and optimistic that we could see higher prices. Sure, has it been overbought in the short term? You could make that case, but trying to short it, that is a very, very hard trade to place. Ivan mentioned Aussie yen. We'll talk about Aussie yen here for a second. And then I want to tell you guys about something cool here. Aussie yen, I'll bring in Ivan in a few moments to talk more in depth with this, but I know he's got some bullish ideas on this one. So if he caught that, then that's wonderful. So we'll talk to Ivan in a few moments about that. Before I do, I also want to say, guys, if you haven't heard about our new Edgefinder Smart Alerts, the Edgefinder Smart Alerts are now live. And I've got something cool here for you guys. We are going to be letting people try the Edgefinder Smart Alerts out today for free. If you're interested, so let me just run through really quick. I'm going to tell you guys how you can get access to this really quick. The Edgefinder Smart Alerts are going to be free today. We're going to try it out. We've never done this before. This is our first time ever letting people try the Edgefinder Smart Alerts. But the Edgefinder has now a notification and alert system for when it finds new trading opportunities. So the Edgefinder, our algorithm, it looks at COT data, retail sentiment, seasonality. It looks at the trend. It looks at economic statistics. It's Frank and I's baby. We've worked on this thing for the last year and a half. So many hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours have gone, I mean, thousands really between all the people involved. We have put so much effort into building this tool and we want more people to check it out and try it out. So today we're doing something really cool. We are going to be allowing people to try it out. And with this said, we get access to the COT report alert. So when something is spotted by the Edgefinder that's unique about the smart money, what they're doing, it'll send you a notification. When the Edgefinder finds a new setup in the market, it will send you a notification to your Discord. It will also, if we're working on this, it's not quite ready. Retail sentiment. If retail sentiment gets extreme, it's going to notify you to your Discord. And finally, it has the score flips, which give you an indication that something's changing and that perhaps a new signal could be forming soon. If you would like to try these out, we are going to be doing a couple days where we allow people to try this for free. If you would like to try it out, send us a direct message. This is opening up. Please be patient with us. I know a lot of people, it's going to be first come, first serve. So if you want to try this out, please message us and we'll get you hooked up with the Edgefinder Smart Alerts to try it out. This is going to be for people who are, Edgefinder users. You can try it out here today. So there you go. Click that link and we'll get you hooked up. There should be, when you click that link, let me just show you. So go on here. And if you go and you click, when it loads, click chat now and just ask for the free Edgefinder Smart Alerts access. Again, you'll be able to get notifications for COT alerts, top setups pages, all this cool stuff available to you right now. So again, that is something that we're doing today. That's an event that is temporary. So please know it's not going to be free forever, but take advantage today. Okay. All right. So, we have Jerome Powell coming on in about 30 minutes. We'll be live for this whole event. And I just want to say, if you guys are enjoying the stream so far, hit that thumbs up button. We'll be right back. We're going to bring Ivan in, who, for the forex guys and girls out there, we're going to be taking a look at Aussie yen and yen crosses in general, which I think are probably a hot topic right now to discuss. We'll be back with Ivan in just a second. We're going to thank our sponsors who make these shows possible. And then we'll be right back with my co-host, Mr. Ivan FX, coming to you right after this. Frank, are you really trading right now? We are literally traveling through space.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to 8cap, I can trade at any time and anywhere, even in space. And I get a free Edgefinder with it too.
That's pretty cool, but honestly, there are so many other brokers that I think are better.
That's it.
I'm ejecting you.
All right, Frank, let me back in. Come on. I'll sign up for 8cap, I promise.
Don't get lost in space. Trade with 8cap. If you'd like more information about how you can get a free Edgefinder, click the link that's in the chat or description to speak with one of our representatives and sign up with 8cap. There's some great free perks available. Check it out down below.
Frank!
All right, and we are back. And a big, as always, thank you to 8cap for sponsoring the show. Remember, guys, you can get access to the Edgefinder for free with 8cap if you're able to open up an account. There are some terms and conditions, so message us for that detail. The link is in the chat. Ivan, yen pairs today, my friend. What's going on?
Pretty good. I forgot that I edited my name just at the last second. Last time I was here
What
on
is
Monday.
this? I
So
did it
now I'm
one
called
time,
Ivan
and now
Effects, not Nick.
everybody's not Nick. I love it. I love it.
I've been called Nick for 2 years now, so I guess it's about time that I make a public statement.
You got to clarify. You're not Nick. I get it. That's perfect.
That's not
I'm
what
going to
my
start
mother
putting
did,
mine as Nick, not Ivan, or whoever's my guest. I'm just. That's awesome.
I'm not
So
Frank.
yen pairs popping here, for, Ivan. What's
Yeah.
going on with the yen?
Well, I posted on Discord this
saw
little
that.
chart,
Yeah.
and my entry according to this little thing, it is 96.42. If you go to the chart and you look at Aussie yen and you're like, where is 96.42? You might ask. That's the price.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, and that's the thing is the yen has just been. I was looking at the yen on a monthly chart, Ivan. It's been crazy overall, like how well that trend has held up. I mean, the yen has just gotten crushed. I mean, years back, 100 was the dollar yen exchange rate. What do you think about? So obviously, Aussie yen, you've got a trade going on, which, by the way, you did call that out. I saw it in the chat. That's awesome. In terms of any other yen crosses, I know a lot of traders like pound yen. Do you have any thoughts on pound yen?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Ivan?
My daughter at 183.58. Sorry? Am I good?
We lost you for a second, but you're back.
Okay. Sorry. I kicked the cable. I have a limit order at 183.58. So I'm just waiting for price to come down kind of in this direction. So I haven't got an entry there yet. So I'm just waiting for it to come back to support. It's still too high for me to buy it.
Fair enough.
But
yeah, no, I mean, pound yen, what I like to think about with pound yen, guys, is that pound yen is one of the most risk on currencies versus risk off currencies, right? You've got the pound, you've got the yen, which is that stable, safe haven economy that is a lot slower moving, but perhaps in some ways more stable. And same thing with the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen. And Ivan, you've got the carry trade scanner on, which is also something to think about. What are you looking at here? Let's talk about that.
I think people should start here when they do trading, and like, where would I get most money, most amount of money for my buck? Because if you look to buy this currencies, yen, dollar yen, pound yen, you get positive swaps. You actually get money by holding those positions, and you're paid by those countries to give them your money. So why not get extra money as you're also collecting pips? So these are one of the larger carry trades, dollar yen, which has had a bit of a slowdown, but lately has a day or two has started to rise again. I didn't catch it. People in the group did catch it, but I just want to point out that when I talk about how to trade tactically, proven, realistic, as in terms of what is the best trade to take, if you can just only take one trade, I would start with what gives me the most money. And
that's really good. Very overlooked because, at the end of the day, Ivan, everybody is after those quick, strategies, the scalping, the in and out, the big money to be made. But the truth is, as you pointed out, who trades the carry trade? The people who trade the carry trade are ginormous hedge funds do the carry trade. So if the best in the business pay attention to something like positive carry, they're looking at what they can get yield wise on holding a position, it's worth mentioning. And that is genuinely, you listen to many hedge fund managers, anybody who is involved in FX at a very high level, they're very aware of what the carry trade is, and they're very aware that you can basically collect interest for holding certain currency pairs, and not a lot of traders even realize this. It also, make sure you're trading with the right broker that does offer this. By the way, ACAP does offer this. Props to ACAP, our sponsor. Link is in the description. But I will say this, in terms of the carry trade, it is the idea that, again, you're buying the Australian dollar, which is yielding something in interest, versus the Japanese yen, which is not. And so when you look at this, by the way, Ivan, the Aussie yen, the only yen cross that is now giving us a bullish reading on the Edgefinder. I thought it was kind of interesting in that regard. COT data is kind of in our favor. The retail crowd thinks it's going lower, which, as you and I know, we love to see that. Seasonality, a nice little positive. Trend reading to the upside. Economically, it's pretty mixed. Inflation, nice prop for the Aussie. So again, I really like this trade. And I think, this idea of support here, as long as that holds, you have perhaps a retest that could be good. But even if we break out, there might be that breakout retest concept for Aussie yen. So I like that trade, and we'll have to see where that one goes. Ivan, I want to shift gears for people who are interested in other things, just to keep it fresh. What do you think about the dollar here today, the dollar index? You have any thoughts on that?
Dollar index. I can do a dollar index. Everyone thinks. Well, the funny thing is that I have mentioned a couple of times, at least in the group, that dollar weakness is very fragile. It's not something that I think should be sustainable. And I said that. When did I say that? Did I say it on FOMC the day after, or in that direction? Is now we're going higher again. So the fundamental bias is still the same. Nothing has changed economically. Nothing has changed fundamentally. It's just that Fed kind of went a bit blind on the economic data and went in their own direction. But it seems like market now is back to where we were, as I said previously, about what about CPI next week. So to me, yeah, this looks doesn't look bullish, but it is bullish.
Okay, fair enough. I think we might be diverging on that, because I'm jumping ship on the dollar bullish idea. Now we'll see who's right about that. But my thought process on it, Ivan, is the economic. So a couple things. First of all, a market that is very meaningful to the inflation trend. Look at oil. Oil in the 76 range. I mean, that is a huge drop in energy. And of course, energy trickles into the inflation story. So you've got a real potential drop off in the inflation story. And to me, if that inflation story, maybe not right away, maybe not this CPI, though energy prices have been depressed for a few months now. If that story continues to play out, where you get inflation cooling, I think it takes away, and this is just my opinion, we'll see if it's right. I think it takes away from the edge that was that dollar, dollar upwards knife, right? You had this inflation's not going away, the economy's unbeatable, and now it's very much potentially going to be hurt by the lower oil prices, the slowdown in the economy. It's not a rapid slowdown, and I kind of still am in the idea of a soft landing, to be completely honest, like slowing economy, not crashing economy. So maybe there's an argument for a neutral to slightly bearish dollar, but that's kind of where I'm at. So I guess we'll just have to see. But markets are fickle, and they can change on a dime. So that's my bias, and I'm curious to see where it goes.
Well, it has to be said that I did buy euro dollar on the FOMC meeting. So it's not like I am hardcore. Is that? No, I didn't show that.
Let's see it. Euro dollar.
This one.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
And I got out 107.40 area. I could just take away some of my horrible drawings, but there we go. So bought nice. 156, give or take. So it's around 160, 180, so 180 pips, give or take. It's all right.
You played that almost perfectly. Well, pretty much perfectly there. That's awesome in terms of, getting out before the drop. And Ivan, on that euro dollar, while you're on the pair, what do you think? I mean, so if you're thinking dollar is still strong, do you think we just kind of drop lower and stay in that range? Are you talking about new lows for the euro? What do you think?
You know what? I would love a dollar bearish. I would like to see the risk off. The risk on, sorry. But right now, as I've said in Discord to I think 2 people minimum today. I don't see
Mhm.
this one having a pause here. I
Mm.
honestly see this is fragile. This is just out of nowhere, and then they basically took profit because of the rate of the fall. So I think this is going to fall, and I feel like this is going to be like a hot knife through butter situation where you don't know what the bottom is going to be. So people have asked me, can I buy now 106, 106, 106.40? And also seeing you being like, maybe I should look into something. I am very apprehensive. I don't know. I feel like buyers has left the building, and I don't know when they're going to come back again.
Fair enough. I mean, for me, Ivan, right now, the more clear signals are, I'm very much like kind of holding on to this idea of the soft landing. And the soft landing for me is not so fixated on the dollar index per se as it is on stock indices. So right now, that's kind of like the trade that I'm really focused on, because I think that you can kind of have a soft landing and potentially not see the dollar crash tremendously. Like the dollar could just kind of go sideways. It could go slightly lower. You could trickle down lower, but I don't necessarily think a soft landing just means a massive crash in the dollar, because that would kind of also entail like a ginormous crash in yields, which a ginormous crash in yields, bonds rocketing, that's more recession camp. And I'm not quite in that area. So I'm kind of like in the soft landing. We'll see if we can kind of land softly, but that is to be determined and has been debated for like the last million years. So we'll see.
Can we talk about S&P 500? Like, am I allowed to mention that?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Somebody asked.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
of
You
course.
said that NASDAQ was too overbought, and that's going to stay that way. And I think that what has happened was that it was extremely oversold, and there we have had what we can call a short squeeze. Because we also saw one of the, I think one of the quant traders from Norway that said that short-term bond yields was the biggest move in one day in complete history. When it fell here. So to me, this is just bullish. The problem is, where do you get a bottom? Where do you get in here? If you didn't get in at the bottom, or get in where you got in. So this is just a one-way train. I don't see this one coming down anytime soon. So for people to be like, "Oh, this is too high now," that's very dangerous. Please.
That is, you're so right about that, Ivan. I've tried to warn people about that earlier in the stream here, just before you joined. When you see the indices rocketing higher, and you start seeing people say and yelling, "It's overbought, it's overbought," that is a bullish signal. If anything is a strong retail sentiment signal, it's when people are barking that the markets are overpriced and they're ridiculous. That is oftentimes when the masses are about to start buying, right? Because that's like, people chasing the trade, and you have so many things right now. And again, Ivan, as always, we could be wrong about this idea, but there's a nice list of bullish factors. And I think the easiest trade right now is staying long S&P 500, NASDAQ, etc. Now, I'm not saying buy up at resistance right now. I'm saying, like, if you've been somebody who's either looking for pullbacks or you're already in a trade, I think that we've got a nice list of tailwinds here as we go into the end of the year. As I mentioned earlier, it's a fourth quarter, but it's also a fourth quarter in the fourth term, fourth year of a presidential term. They want to get reelected. So what are they going to do? Keep prices high, keep oil low, so the gas pump hurts people less. There's some of that. Let me put my tinfoil hat on, and it's not even tinfoil hat. It's, you look at the stats. The fourth year of a presidential election during the fourth quarter is one of the best seasonal times in the S&P 500, period. It's one of the best times historically. And there's only been like a handful of times where it hasn't gone up during those phases. So I'm not saying it can't possibly. I'm saying that this is trading, and trading is all about probabilities. I don't want to just take profits here, because I think there's the potential for this thing to squeeze higher and perhaps cause a bigger short squeeze on things like the NASDAQ. And, really, Ivan, where I'm interested too is some of the smaller cap stocks that have gotten just wiped out the past year. The Russell. This is just kind of for the deep dive people who are really interested in markets. The Russell is smaller cap stocks. It's been just devastated this year, despite the NASDAQ up 30%, whatever, 20%, whatever it is. The S&P 500 gaining. The Dow and the Russell have just been completely ignored. So, anyways, that's another kind of topic for another day. But what do you think, Ivan? Last topic here for you. We've got gold. What do you think about gold right now? I'm very much wanting to be a bull, but I'm not liking the price action. What do you think?
Didn't we mention 1970 on Monday? I mentioned 1970 on Monday. As if it breaks that, it's probably going to fall. I am $5 per ounce right about that right now. So I think it's gonna. To me, it looks like it has to be. Well, you are at the very last, what do you call it, boundaries before the fall. So it can go high, it can go low from this point, 50-50 anyways. But at least you are at least allowed to look for the sells, and you should be very discouraged as a buyer. I just want to mention about NASDAQ. Yeah. NASDAQ yield to date is 30%. So it's not like NASDAQ has 30%. Done I mean, horrible. 30%.
Right. NASDAQ has done wonders. Yeah, and that's incredible. And at the end of the day, to think it couldn't go higher is a really dangerous way of thinking with indices, which generally go a lot higher than people think they will. So I'm staying bullish on them for better or for worse. We will see how that end of the year runs. But my goal is to stay long as much as I can throughout the end of the year, as long as price action keeps me in the trades. So yeah. With that said, Ivan, I do want to do a couple things before we continue here. So I'm going to let you go. But before I do, let me just remind everybody in the audience, Ivan is one of our coaches within the A1 Trading Discord. I mentioned that earlier. Ivan puts on coaching webinars throughout the week. He does them before these streams. It's kind of like a pre-stream prep even. He goes through traders' game plans. He looks at their trading performance. He looks at charts that are heavily requested. He goes through game plans for trades he's looking at. If you are looking for a smaller group setting to learn trading in an intimate, more realistic way, Ivan is the guy to do it. He does coaching webinars throughout the week inside of our Discord. And I do want to say he also does coaching one-on-one. And he has very, very reasonable prices for that. If you're looking for somebody who has a lot of experience to work with, Ivan is your guy. You can find him inside of our Discord. And like I said, that is currently discounted for Black Friday. You can send us a direct message if you'd like more information for that. And also at the same time, you can also just find Ivan directly on his own YouTube channel. Here is his link. You can send him a message wherever. You can find him on Discord. You can email him, text him, call him. You can show up at his house, whatever. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But yeah, you can find Ivan there, and make sure to go subscribe. So yeah, Ivan, thank you for coming on. We'll see you at your house soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
See you later. All right, guys, throw him out of here. Get him out of here. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't show up to anybody's house. This is we're not trying to do all that. In America, we can't even afford houses, so that's not a problem. Anyways, we've got about 10 minutes here before Jerome Powell is set to come up on the stage. Things are about to heat up, guys. The markets are about to move, and I want to keep you guys, for those of you who are just joining now, I am still long S&P. I just gave my 1700th rant on why I'm still bullish S&P 500. Probably going to be 1701 pretty soon. I don't want to go through it because I just did, but I'm still bullish, holding on. Stop loss is trailed here, guys. I'm keeping it a little bit wide because I know volatility is likely to be here in the next couple hours. If we chop around, I don't mind staying in the trade. If we can see, really where I need to see a decision is either a breakout here of the highs and then we trail, or price fails out, loses steam, and I trail out for a profit. So I am in a win-win scenario, which is, of course, the best case scenario as a trader. We never can complain about a win-win scenario, but I've got my stop loss trailed into profit and we're letting this one run. I'm currently up $10,000 on this trade. And I know that that is, kind of a wild number for some. Maybe for some others, it's not a wild number. For maybe the people who are bigger, better traders than myself, maybe that's not a big number. But for me, that's a large number for my trading. And I want to say this. I always say this stuff when I talk about my wins. I've had a string of losses before this. So we're still up overall, but this is helping to also recuperate some bad call outs that I had in the past. So I just want to be transparent about that. This is not my everyday reality. I'm not pulling in 10 grand a day. So just trying to keep it real with you guys. And as always, okay. So I just want to say also, if you're enjoying the stream, we've got 10 minutes to go here before the event kicks off. Would you just do me a quick favor and hit that thumbs up button? It would really mean a lot to me just to get this stream shared with more people. We do work very hard to put these streams together, and I would very much appreciate that. Thank you very much. There's the like animation on the screen. And again, maybe that triggered something in your brain to be like, you know what? Today I'll like the stream. Like you're doing something for us. We'll do something for you. I really appreciate it, guys. Anyways, let's talk about setups. Let's talk about where we're currently at as we approach this event. Jerome Powell is likely to come on, and he's likely to move the markets because last week when we heard from him, there was a shift in his tone. There was a less hawkish tone. Today we get an answer that I think is really, really important. The answer is he going to back up the way he spoke again and cite some victories kind of in the inflation problem, or is he going to take it back? If he takes it back, if he's kind of, he re-invites the hawkish tone, that would be not good for my S&P trade. It would be dollar bullish, etc. So we're going to wait and see. And again, I've got a stop loss trailed on my trade, and I should recommend that. Well, I shouldn't recommend anything. I'm not here to financially advise you, but you should at least be aware that there is likely to be some volatility here. And please be very careful if you are trading around this time. It's likely to move. Okay, so gold, I'm still bullish. I'm waiting for price action to marry up nicely with that. Aussie yen, I mentioned as a possible pullback setup. I do like that. I think Ivan's got a nice trade there, and I could potentially join him on that. NAS 100, still bullish, but probably best to wait for a pullback, in my personal opinion. I'll pull up the NASDAQ with you guys here. So we're looking for, again, NASDAQ, really, really nice push to the upside. We broke out of this daily chart channel. For my friends who trade NAS, I think, you may have more upside to come, but it's probably due to pullback, right? We've had at this point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This would be the 9th green day in a row. So yeah, it's probably due for a little bit of a pullback. So we'll see if that comes in. I'm not rushing to add to my index trades because again, as I mentioned, I am currently already long S&P. So NASDAQ is an interesting one. We'll also take a look for my friends out there who trade the Dow. Anybody a US 30 trader? If you're a US 30 trader, type US 30 in the chat because you guys are some wild ones. You know who you are if you trade US 30. Now, if you trade stock ETFs like DIA, then that's respectable because DIA, the ETF is much less volatile than the contract size they give you on the US 30, which is ginormous and ridiculously high. So please be very careful. If you're a US 30 trader, I want you to know you are crazy, and I'm talking directly to you. Okay, US 30 on a forex broker is nuts. So please be very, very careful with that stuff. That thing moves like 2 inches and you're up or down $500. So it's the contract size. The ways forex brokers do it, they give you like a full $34,000 position. It's crazy. So I would recommend that if you want less volatility on a US 30, but you still want to trade the Dow, trade something like DIA. I trade on Webull, and if I want to take a trade, I trade it on DIA. This allows me to take a not so leveraged bet. Look at the size of it's not 34,000, it's 342. So it's much more reasonable. If that's something you're interested in, you can head over to our website, a1trading.com/brokers. We've got some great brokers that might be better suited towards you. Okay. So anyways, US 30, let's take a look at it just for the futures contract version. We'll take a quick look at this. US 30, nice little breakout here, right? And kind of holding its gains. We'll see if that does kind of push higher, but the US 30 seems to be breaking into a bullish price action pattern. I would like to see if you're really bullish, if we get a pop here today, maybe then it's due for, you know, a nice pullback that could look good at this area, but it's a very shallow breakout right now. And I'd like to see some sort of confirmation there. For the gold traders, again, we got 662. Can you guys smash that thumbs up button for me? We got 660 people in here. You guys are awesome. I'm hoping you subscribe and come back to see us more often. This is nice to have so many people hanging out. JP is about to come on about 5 minutes out. We'll have him on here. I do also want to remind everybody while we're doing this, if you guys haven't heard, we have the Edgefinder. If you're a regular viewer, the Edgefinder is our COT data scanner, seasonality scanner, retail sentiment. It also creates AI generated trading setups, the bullish and bearish readings that you see on the screen right now for like gold, NASDAQ, etc. It's how I find all of my trades. It's our software tool that we've built from scratch here at A1. We are a software company out of Atlanta, Georgia. And right now, first of all, two things. Number one, the whole store that we have, all of our software tools are currently 45% off. If you're a regular viewer, this is your best time of the entire year to get access to the Edgefinder for that 45% off sale. If you'd like access to it, boom, there it is, 45% off. Shoot us a message. We'll get you hooked up with our signals or the Edgefinder software. Of course, the thing that I use in all my videos and have built with my team here at A1. We'd love to get you a copy, again, for that super discounted rate. That is the best price that we're doing all year long. So message us for that. The second thing I want to say, finally, check this out. The Edgefinder now has an alert notification system where you can get notified when it finds top setups from hedge funds, institutional trades going on, right? If big money is moving in or out of gold or the US dollar or the NASDAQ, whatever. If you want to get notifications for top setups that the Edgefinder finds to your Discord, this is a free thing that we're doing right now for Edgefinder users. If you would like to get access for free, let's drop that link one more time, Chandler. We got a few minutes to go before the event. Get set up with free access to this. This is a 1 day or maybe 1 or 2 days. We'll do maybe 2 days. Send us a direct message. When you do, you'll be able to check this out. It's really cool. We want people to check out our new stuff. We worked really hard on building this. It's a new notification system. The Edgefinder automatically sends out trade ideas now. So it's coming to life. It's like Frankenstein. We did that Frankenstein skit. Black Friday sale, 45% off. Or if you want to try out the free Edgefinder Smart Alerts, it is currently 45% off to purchase anything from our store. And also the Smart Alerts are free to try out today. So shoot us a message. And now with that said, guys, we are getting very close to Jerome Powell coming in. 720 of you guys here. What's up? Welcome back. Thanks for being here. Let's talk gold here for a second. Is gold going to break out? I think if you're a gold bear today, guys, we've entered into this kind of choppy price action. If you're somebody who's been looking here for this breakout, right? This could be really interesting. If you're a gold bear, right? If you're a gold bull like myself, I'm not going to trade this until we get price action signals. I've been clear. If you missed the first half of this stream, guys, gold bulls, what I'm looking for is breaks, retests, breaks, retests. I need to see this thing come back to life, and then I'll be looking for bullish setups because I am bullish gold, but not when price action is so gross, right? Now, if you're a bear and we get a big candle to the downside today, perhaps JP comes out and says something super bullish. That's a different story, right? Then the gold bears might come in, and I'd be, in that case, glad I didn't take any trades. But I've been on the sidelines for gold for a few days, but watching it closely for possible bullish setups that could come up. Maybe we'll get some of that during the speech here today. If I take any trades, I'll keep you guys notified. And as you guys know, with my current trade that's on, we are floating a real good profit here, a $10,000 profit floating on the S&P 500 call that we made last week inside of the Discord VIP. Okay. So we are still holding on to this. As I mentioned, when we take trades, no nonsense, no BS. This is real capital. I am on my US regulated brokerage on TradingView logged in. We don't do the MetaTrader balling. We don't do fake demo profits. If you want to see the trades that we're taking, no cap, all out, no nonsense, no BS. Join the VIP. You get access to the trade signals that I'm taking on my personal hard-earned money. Frank shares his, does the same thing. We are here putting our own personal capital to use. And I think that that's a valuable thing. When you sign up for a signal service and you don't even know if they're putting real trades on, it matters. Guys, we're gonna flip over here. I think, well, actually, you know what? We'll let Chandler, whenever the stream is ready, just pop it up on the screen and we'll react. But We're not getting any feed just yet. Chandler, our editor, producer, is watching that closely for us, guys. Whenever we get that, we'll do that. How many lots are you trading on SPX? So I'm trading an ETF. It is still the same thing. I'm still trading S&P 500, but I'm trading the ticker symbol SPY. It is the same thing, just an ETF variation. So it's not a lot size. I have 500 shares of SPY. Okay. My initial risk was down here, and we have since moved the stop loss very nicely into profit. So I'm in a win-win scenario. If the market just tanks, we'll get out. If the market rips through the highs, which I think has the potential to do so, we'll see if that happens. I'll trail stops further and lock in more profit. Powell's late as always. Is he usually late? I feel like he's usually on time. I feel like he's a very well put together, nice old man. People would disagree with me on that because maybe a lot of people have been really burned by what he has to say, but his words move the markets, man. It is crazy. We will, guys, stick around. As soon as we have the feed, we're going to pull it up for you guys so we can watch what Jerome Powell says in his speech. We will be here for that. While we wait, like I mentioned, guys, just a second ago, if you're somebody who watches my channel regularly or you watch our shows here on the A1 Trading Show that we do with all of our guests and wonderful contributors, if you are somebody who would like to get access to the Signals group or to the Edgefinder, this is just an announcement. Everything is currently 45% off. It is our biggest sale of the year. If you want access to that, do not miss out. 45%. That is a massive discount, and it is our best discount of the entire year. I know I keep saying that, and if you're annoyed with me, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure that people who are not aware of it yet do hear that so that they don't miss the discount. I know a lot of people wait for discounts like this that watch our shows, and this is the best one that you're going to get all year long. It is never going to be a lower discount than that for in terms of like our campaigns. So almost 900 people. Yeah, what's up, everybody? We got 900 people in here for JP. He's coming, guys. I know he's coming. We're waiting for him to show up. So he's he's an important person. We wait on him, not the other way around. You know what I mean? Yes. So he's coming again, still holding on to the trade. S&P long. I'd love to see if we can get this breakout today. This is going to be decisive. So breakouts would be big if we can get it. By the way, guys, 957 people. Do me a quick favor, smash that thumbs up button. Let's blow it up. This is probably one of the biggest streams on YouTube right now for this. I don't know. Maybe I should humble myself. Maybe there's somebody out there with like 10,000, but we're glad you're here. The show hosts, the editors, producers, we're glad you're here. All right. So again, S&P staying long. Goal is for those of you guys who are with me. I know a lot of the Discord members are also bullish S&P. If you are in this trade from last week that we sent out, what we're looking for, a breakout. So game plan for me is a breakout means I trail my stop into profit. A sell-off means I take profits on this position if we break through support. Okay? Everybody good on the game plan? That's the idea. For members, that is the game plan. We are staying long S&P until we see signs of a failure at support. Okay? I think we have the meeting, but he's still walking up. Whenever he's here, Chandler's going to hook us up. So guys, stick with me. We got 1,000 people. Good to see you all here. That is a record. That's actually a record for the stream. We haven't had 1,000 people on here. Look at this. I just screenshotted it. 1,000 people hanging out with us. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. So yes, when JP speaks, we will pull this up for you guys.
It's great to see so many faces that I know. We have current staff and alumni, people watching virtually, and this has been a great turnout, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the day. So if you're just arriving today, you actually missed a lot because we have been here already celebrating for a couple of days. On Monday, we had a fantastic presentation by Jaime Marquez talking about the division's history. And that was followed by a great discussion that was kicked off by Beth Kaiser. And then yesterday, we hosted the world premiere of Janice Schack Marquez's video interviewing past and present staff, which was very entertaining and included some embarrassing before and after photos. And so, we've been having a great time. A highlight of the week so far for me is to hear all the funny stories.
Let's do this. Can everybody hear the sound? I'll come right back to that, Chandler. Feel free to pop that back up when we get JP speaking. For now, this lady is boring. I'm just kidding. Nothing against her, but they're just doing kind of formalities. So we'll wait. We'll bring JP back up when he is ready. So don't go anywhere. We got 1,033 people. I just want to keep it fresh for you guys because we do have something to talk about. For those of you guys who are gold traders, actually, can you guys do me a quick favor? Drop a comment, drop a chat message right now. What are you guys watching? Are you guys watching gold? Are you watching US 30, NAS, dollar, euro, pound? What are you guys looking at? I'll try and cover what we've got. I do want to loop back to what we spoke about earlier, which is this Euro USD idea. The euro holding support, guys. And I think I've made this point very clear. I think path of least resistance for the euro is further up. And I could be completely wrong about that. It's going to depend on what JP says. The reason this is so quintessential right now, why this is so important, what JP has to say in just a few minutes, which again, if you're just joining us, we will have that pulled up in just a moment. The reason it's so important is last week, he was less hawkish. Is he going to confirm that narrative or take it back? That's where the dollar is going to make a decisive move, likely in the coming few hours. So again, stick around with me. This should be a very interesting market moving day. And I'll have the coverage for you guys as always, as we always do. And also while you're here, make sure to subscribe. We got more of this stuff coming. We got tomorrow, Fed JP speaks again. I think he's coming up now. So guys, we'll get him. I think he's walking up. I'm trying to see out of like a small, there he is. There he is.
Thank you.
There's our guy.
Very much, Stacy, for your kind words and for the chance to be part of this wonderful celebration. Welcome to those who are here and also those listening remotely. It's great to be here honoring the Division of Research and Statistics today to celebrate the division's centennial. It's also humbling to see so many Fed people who served the institution over long and distinguished careers and have returned for this great occasion. Seeing some of you reminds me that the Fed is one of those places where you can work for a decade or so and still feel like a newbie. You know who you are. So for those listening outside the room, I'll just very briefly outline research and statistics jobs responsibilities. A large part of the division, along with other divisions of the Board of Governors, engage in producing what is called the Teal Book, which contains the staff's forecast for the U.S. economy, as well as a great deal of data and analysis on financial and economic issues. The Teal Book is delivered to the Federal Open Market Committee, or FOMC, before our regular meetings. Outside of the FOMC meeting cycle, RNS deploys its experts wherever they're needed across the Board of Governors, providing crucial inputs to work on financial stability, bank merger analysis, and many other topics. RNS is also an ongoing source of specialized information for policymakers. If board members have questions about even the most arcane workings of some aspect of the economy, and trust me, we very often do have questions, they can send an email and in no time be sitting down with some of the best informed experts on that subject. Much of the time, these are RNS economists. For example, during the pandemic, when questions arose about how the computer chip shortage was affecting auto production or how businesses were responding to the backlog at US ports, RNS gave detailed briefings on these novel subjects. Among its other activities, the Board of Governors is one of the world's most productive economic research institutions, and a large share of that work takes place inside RNS, supporting our mission of promoting a healthy economy and a strong and stable financial system. I've talked about research, let's talk about statistics. In addition to gathering data from many sources outside of the Federal Reserve, RNS is itself the source of some of the most important data on the economy and on the financial system. Our consumer credit data provide financial markets and the public with a vital indicator of the strength of household spending and balance sheets. Each month, the Industrial Production Report gives us insights into how well certain sectors of the economy, especially in the manufacturing realm, are operating. RNS is also responsible for the financial accounts of the United States, a quarterly compendium of assets, liabilities, and transactions for segments of the economy. And every 3 years, RNS produces the well-known Survey of Consumer Finances, a premier source of detail and insights about how households are faring in the economy. The latest survey was published just last month. These and other data series produced by RNS amount to a significant public service. So I want to now focus in a little more detail on the U.S. economic forecast, which I would say is perhaps the most important of RNS's roles. And it's the aspect of RNS's work with which I most frequently engage. I think it's not an exaggeration to say that the U.S. economy baseline forecast produced by RNS, along with the simulations of a half a dozen plausible alternative paths for the economy, constitute the largest part of the essential bedrock that enables our pursuit of our dual mandate goals. Now, some people are just attracted to extremely challenging tasks, and the people of RNS are manifestly those people, having chosen just such a task in forecasting the path of the U.S. economy 8 times a year for FOMC meetings and then regular updates between meetings. They do this work on the biggest stage and with the highest stakes of any forecasters, knowing that the economy so very often surprises us. I've observed several qualities that are required to do this work well and that our RNS colleagues exemplify. And I'll start with intense commitment to the work, which requires pretty much, as I see it, everything you have to give. I think you have to love this work of forecasting to do it well. The job also requires integrity. Policymakers count on RNS to give us their best thinking, not shading the results for any reason. Regular forecasting also demands a systematic approach and a high degree of intellectual rigor. Ask Stacy and her colleagues to explain a certain aspect of the forecast. You'll find they have a clear explanation grounded in a rigorous framework. Of course, that intellectual rigor has to be combined with flexibility and agility. Economic models do a reasonably good job of capturing the working of the economy over past decades. Of course, even with state-of-the-art models and even in relatively calm times, the economy frequently surprises us. But our economy is flexible and dynamic and is subject at times to unpredictable shocks, like a global financial crisis or a pandemic. At those times, forecasters have to think outside of the models. A dominant aspect of the future path of the economy is high uncertainty. And so, this work also takes large doses of both courage and humility. And finally, judgment. To complement this rigorous process and these qualities, there has to be good judgment based on knowledge and experience. So, to wrap up, perhaps the most important legacy of the past century for the Division of Research and Statistics is the resilience, the creativity, the energy, the rigor, and the commitment with which RNS has risen to the many challenges that it has faced and that this nation has faced in that long span of history. So, on behalf of the board and the FOMC, thank you for that, and hearty congratulations on your first 100 years of service to the public. Thank you.
I came in late. I don't really know what he was talking about.
He hasn't really, it was kind of just a formality so far. I am curious what's to come here.
Well, the markets are up from this, but I didn't hear anything necessarily on the policy side of things.
Maybe he coughed a certain way and the market was like, oh, that's bullish.
Good to see you all. I am delighted and honored to be moderating this first panel today. I want to begin by thanking the Division of Research and Statistics, or put better, thanking the people of the Division of Research and Statistics. Here at RNS, and I will add in monetary affairs, I learned skills and perspectives that have been invaluable in every.
So I think that might have been all he had to say. And as weird as that is, he didn't obviously disclose any future monetary policy decisions. Chandler, if you don't mind just monitoring, or James, either one of you guys, just monitoring in case anything of real substance starts coming up. But it seems like a little bit of a formality. Anytime Jerome Powell speaks, we say this often, anytime he's speaking, it is potentially market moving. And so that is why we try and monitor that. But it was kind of more of a formality stuff. And perhaps markets were looking for any indication or signal that Jerome Powell would say, you know, we've come a long way, or, you know, anything like that. We didn't really get anything there. Despite that, though, Frank, you mentioned market's still up here this morning. We're looking at the S&P 500. Frank, are you still long SPX?
Yes, still in it, still trailing. Yeah, nothing's changed. I'm in AU now for a long trade. And that is just kind of...
Tell us about that one, if you want to share your screen.
Yeah, so that is just not doing anything yet, kind of back and forth. I bought here, like in this area around support. Oh, my bad, I'm not sharing the screen. Let me pull it up really quick. So yeah, I'm in a long at this level in the 0.64s. You know, price hit this like triple top, came all the way back after the FOMC last week. Just saw pretty harsh decline from what we saw as like a dovish statement from the Fed. So what I'm thinking is this is just maybe a pullback in what we're looking at as a reversal. So this break above a trend line, break above resistance, touching a triple top here on the 1 day, coming down to support again. So I think price is just going to be, I guess, back and forth. And if it can hold above that level, that green bar right here, you know, I'll be holding on. And yeah, COT is buying it. They're not strong on the dollar anymore. So AU long for me. I'm looking at risk on pairs in general. And with that, yeah, I'm holding S&P.
I think too, Frank, take a look at this on my end. This is the dollar index, which was the topic of this morning. You know, traders, investors, anybody who was watching for JP to give us some stuff there. Of course, he didn't really have anything of serious substance that caused market volatility, but I'll show you on my screen where we're at with the dollar index. Look at the price action. Everybody who's watching dollar index right now, whether you trade gold, whether you trade euro dollar, whether you trade wherever, this is big. We always talk about the dollar index because, in my opinion, it is the most important chart. The dollar index includes Fed monetary policy, risk sentiment globally, emerging markets potential, all sorts of stuff. So when Frank points out, you know, AU potential longs, part of it is, you know, this dollar index is sitting at a resistance point that we discussed yesterday. And I think will be proven right or wrong. That is the wonder of live ideas and live trading. You know, we're looking for a rollover here. And if that happens, if we see that expansion of price after this big breakout pullback, it could be a really nice, you know, risk reward trade that you've got there on the Australian dollar, Frank. And I think, you know, you look at AU, you look at EU, GU, a lot of these things have had some overextended perhaps trends to the downside recently. I mentioned euro dollar for the euro traders out there. You know, the euro is sitting at support. And so far, our idea that we called out earlier on stream seems to be holding nicely. You've got support here right around 1.067. We talked about this earlier, guys, but if you were patient enough, a lot of traders came in on the stream yesterday and they were like, Nick, Frank, Ivan, everybody, Tom, is it time to buy the euro? And you had this big pop above resistance. And now I think people who were patient enough, whether you're trading AU, GU, EU, whatever, they all pulled back. And I think that the patience may just pay off, because even if this thing tanks, at least you're not long up here, right? A lot of traders probably chase this thing and they're probably sitting in some struggle train right now for euro bullish ideas or pound bullish ideas, but the euro looks like it could be headed higher from here, as long as that dollar index plays nice. Again, we broke out of a range on the dollar index. A pullback into that range should be met with sellers. We'll see if that does, in fact, come into fruition. Frank, I won't keep you because we've been on stream for a while. I thank you for coming on and just reacting there. I know there wasn't too much there, but we do like to try and make an appearance for any potential Fed meeting stuff. So thanks for coming on, and yeah, I'm sure we'll chat more with you soon.
Just one more thing.
All right. See you, Frank. Sorry. Go ahead.
So tomorrow, I think nothing's really going to happen today on the dollar, at least. tomorrow at 2 p.m. is when he speaks again. This will be probably more related to the monetary policy. So I think tomorrow is going to be the bigger mover on the market. So we're just gonna have to stay tuned for that. But that was all I wanted to say, because Powell didn't really say anything today. Doesn't mean he's not going to say anything tomorrow.
Very true. And sorry to almost kick you out before it was too early, Frank. We've got a little delay in our stream here, but I do also want to say, Frank and I, to Frank's point, tomorrow's the big day, but what traders always mess up is they rush in and focus on everything on the day of. The prep and the preparation for those big days, it doesn't happen tomorrow. It happens right now. Right now, we set up for trades. We look through stuff. If you're not already in our Telegram channel, let's drop the link to the Telegram. It's totally free. Frank and I are putting our ideas out there each day. So if you'd like to get notifications without even having to show up to the stream, you can still get readable content from Frank and I looking at setups. That's totally free to join. We'll drop the channel. Let's drop the link to the Telegram directly, so people can just join in on there with that. So there it is. Thank you, Chandler. And thank you, Frank, for coming on. We'll be back with you tomorrow, like you said, for the big day.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. See ya. Yeah, I almost kicked Frank out too early. There was a little bit of delay in the stream, so I apologize to you guys for that. Okay. So where are we at? Where does this leave us? How do we prep for tomorrow? I mentioned how important today is, because what everybody's going to do now that the pop has happened, let me tell you right now, a lot of people are going to leave the stream. They're going to go on with their day, and they're not going to do any of the prep work that is required to do before the big events that happen tomorrow. So let's talk a little bit about what we want to do here in terms of analysis. If you guys could do me a quick favor in the chat, drop what you would like me to pull up. We've got some time here to go through some charts and prep for tomorrow. Again, game plan doesn't happen on the day of the game. Game plan happens in days and weeks before, where we prep. Again, if you're serious about this stuff, stick around with me for a little bit. Let's talk some trade setups. Let's talk some ideas, and we'll get into it. I do also want to say, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss the stream tomorrow. If you click that bell, it'll shoot you a message when we go live so that you can come join us. Same thing with the Telegram. If you join the Telegram channel, we'll drop the link there to the live so you guys can be there. But make sure to join that Telegram. Again, it is totally free to join. It's in the live chat here right now. So click that link. There it is. Join the Telegram. Free to join. We'll drop it one more time just because everybody's spamming their charts. But you guys were asking for some gold, asking for some silver, dollar Swiss, dollar CAD. Yeah. So for those of you guys asking for dollar CAD right off the bat, I don't like the price action. I pulled it up earlier. Just too wonky of a chart. We were in this nice upward trend, then we crashed lower, and now we're rising higher. If you start seeing kind of a breakout on the higher time frames, that's different. But dollar CAD, not really interesting for me right now. Gold, let me tell you where I'm at with gold. I know a lot of traders here love trading their gold. Here's the issue for gold for me right now. We're in this just range. As Frank mentioned, the decisive day will likely be tomorrow. So game plan for today, you have a couple options. If you're somebody who's like really bullish on gold, let's start fresh. Let's do a chart markup on gold together. This will take a few minutes, and we'll break down gold. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Even if you're somebody who trades the 1 hour or the 15-minute chart, the daily chart is really important, because a lot of investors look at the daily chart. A lot of big money looks at the daily chart. It's a really important, it's probably the most popular time frame, to be completely honest. Whether you're a day trader, scalper, swing trader, investor, long-term investor, position trader, the daily chart is probably the most popular. Sure, for day traders, they might love like the 5 and the 15, and they get down there and they go wild. But for most average people, the daily chart is really important. So what I want to point out about the gold market here that's a little bit concerning is we kind of have lost our momentum that was going on. So I'm not necessarily saying, oh, gold is just bearish from here, but go with me on this for a second. You've got the gold market, which had a really great run. You could make the case for a little bit of a deeper pullback needed off of the daily, because again, we had like 3 weeks straight of just straight upshoot to the upside there for gold. And now you start wondering, where is support here? We're starting to see something that's a bit concerning in the form of a possible head and shoulders pattern. Okay. Again, we don't get incredibly complicated with our patterns on these streams. We keep technical analysis really simple because I think that's all you need. I don't think you need to get fancy with technicals. It's really, at the end of the day, look for the very obvious stuff in technicals, and that's what's going to matter the most. But we have this potential head and shoulders, right? Higher high, higher, and then again, that lower high. Now, what gets really bearish for me on gold would be in the short term. I'm talking about a bearish thing is the way price is breaking underneath this daily chart level of support. The last time we were here, guys, price retested this area and just launched, right? But the scary part is that it failed to clear the previous highs. Now that we've sold back off and now we're even under the lows, if we close there, that to me signals that potentially short-term gold is due for a deeper retracement, perhaps down to that 1930 to 1940 range. Now, what I'm saying is I am actually still bullish gold, but I think we are probably due for a bit of a pullback. When you get your fibs out on the daily chart, guys, and remember, the daily chart is so important. Even if you're a day trader, even if you're a scalper, this chart is so important. Look where the 38.2 is, 1933. A deeper pullback could be happening on gold right now. So I'm still bullish gold from a fundamentals perspective. I still like it on the long side, but I think we have some room to come down. And so I'm being very, very patient. I wanted to buy it yesterday. It didn't quite set up for me, and I'm glad I didn't because we rolled over again today. Okay. So for gold traders out there, I want to be clear. I am looking for gold setups. I like what we see on the COT data. If you guys are Edgefinder users, then you know where I'm going with that, right? Also, by the way, sorry for my computer being slow today. I've been streaming for like an hour and a half, and my computer's starting to melt down. So it starts going really slow when we stream for a while. So we'll see how much longer we can last there. But in terms of a price action standpoint, I think we have some due pullbacks that could go a little bit deeper here. And let's see, do we get our smart money tracker up and running? Again, my computer is melting right now, so please bear with me. I'm getting a new one for the office here pretty soon because it is just dying. It makes sense. I'm doing TradingView, which is heavy, the Edgefinder, which is heavy, and a streaming software off of my computer. So it makes sense why we've got a little bit of a slowdown here. And I think it's rapidly deteriorating. So you might not be able to check the smart money tracker at this time. If Chandler or James, if one of you guys want to just throw up the COT data on the screen for me from your computer, that would really be awesome. I'm struggling with my computer. I could see the stats are getting overworked. But anyways, like I said, gold probably due for a deeper retracement. In terms of, the dollar index, let's take a look at that. Dollar index still kind of testing this resistance point. And I mentioned this earlier, guys, the dollar daily chart, upward trend, range, breakout to the downside. I am still tentatively bearish. I mean, I am bearish on the dollar index as we retest resistance. So I'm watching this really closely here because, again, yeah. Rate of return on gold is less than 5% per annual, which means most market makers are short on it, probably hedge funds. Well, actually, if you look at the S&P versus gold, in the last few years, gold has actually outperformed. So there are periods of time where, sure, gold does not so good, but there are also periods of time where gold is long-term, it's done really, really well. May not be ginormous annual returns on average, but still. Chandler's got the COT data for us. Thank you, Chandler, we could pop your screen on the screen there. Again, what we've got here, guys, this is the COT data. I mentioned that I wanted to take a closer look at gold. So Chandler, if you in the latest non-commercial COT change, yeah, right there, just click on gold, the word gold for me for a second. Okay, so guys, here's what I wanted to point out. The COT data, this shows us the institutional positioning of gold. This is hedge funds. This is smart money traders, hedge funds, banks, money managers, asset managers. The big money seems to be going into a bigger gold long position, and they might be accumulating a bigger position in gold right now. So again, we have the data here. We can see the data on the COT reports that we've got in front of us. This data is really important because it shows where bigger term, where is money flowing on the professional level, not the amateur trader, not the everyday, retail trader. I'm talking about smart money, big money, professionals, hedge funds, whatever you'd like to call them. Their latest filing shows a bullish report for gold. Okay. So if you would like access to this, I will just say, this is something, we're a software company out of Atlanta, Georgia. We build tools for traders. We have tons of stuff on the screen. Like you can see our COT data, we have retail sentiment, seasonality, so many other pieces of data. If you would like access to our data, we are currently running our biggest sale of the year. It is 45% off right now if you direct message us on our website. And what that does, it'll connect you to a real person who can ask you a couple questions about what you're looking for and see if this data would be helpful to you. It also comes with our algorithm that basically helps define the setups that I trade. So I mentioned earlier, I'm long S&P 500. That was a trade setup from the Edgefinder that I found. So if you would like to get access to the data that I'm using and our company's data here at A1, like I said, we build tools for traders that help them find better setups. At the end of the day, yes, it's an investment to purchase a software like this, but if it helps you find better trades and you can have lifetime access, by the way, it is a one-time price to purchase our tools. We don't do like month-to-month payments because we don't want you to have to pay forever on a tool. You pay once, you support our campaign, our project of software development for traders. You get access to the tools and you can use them as long as you'd like. So again, the link is in the chat right now. If you joined us today and you were like, some of that data was really useful, really cool, here it is. Take advantage, get access for the best price of the entire year, 45% off when you send us a direct message. And again, that is just for currently, we're currently doing that sale as a special thank you to our viewers. It is a massive savings. It's savings hundreds and hundreds of dollars off of the tool right now. It's almost half off. So like I said, if you've been watching the show for a little while, take advantage. How do you deal with piracy if it's one time? Because you have to have a login in order to get access. So you have to have your account and then you get access, and you can use it on as many devices as you want. It is a cloud-based thing. So by the way, this software that you're looking at, you can log in on your phone, you can log in on your computer at work, your computer at home. This is just like TradingView, it is essentially our own set of data tools that you can use to help better your trading. And that is, of course, the purpose of our company. We are a software company, as I mentioned, out of Atlanta, Georgia. And if you direct message us, you'll be connected with someone on our team who will hook you up with those Black Friday prices. And I know I keep saying it. I'm not trying to be annoying. I'm just trying to let people know who might have shuffled into the stream about the sale in case they missed it. So here's what you do. Click that link. It's in the chat. Chat now. Black Friday sale, 45% off. And last thing, if you made it here to the end of the stream, I got something special for you. If you are somebody who is interested in the Edgefinder Smart Alerts, which is our new our notification system we just recently built. This is currently, we just got this built. You get access to the COT report alerts. So anytime big money does something different, you get a notification whenever we get that data in the Edgefinder. The Edgefinder automatically shoots you a Discord message. Same thing with our top setups alerts. This allows you to see anytime the Edgefinder finds a new idea, boom, you get a notification to your phone or to your desktop, wherever you've got Discord set up. Finally, you got score flips. We built this software, like I said, from scratch. It is totally up and running now with the new alert system. If you'd like to try this out for free, this is a bit for Edgefinder users. This is totally free to try out. Shoot us a direct message by clicking the talk to, click free Edgefinder Smart Alerts access, and we'll set you up so you can try it out. This is a trial that we're doing to allow people to check out the new features that we've built. So with that said, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with me. And we're gonna call it there. That was a long stream. 700 you guys still here. Make sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and we will see you guys back on the next one. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks again for flying with us on the A1 Trader. Our goal at A1 Trading is to give you the latest in market news through our daily videos and articles. Take advantage of our huge Black Friday sale, 45% off, happening all month on our best products we have to offer. A1 Trader, prepare for the return home.